Hey everyone, this is a guide to bastion routing for situations in speedruns where you only have TNT but no iron pick. Bridge is the only bastion where this TNT route is actually faster. The other three are not only slower but riskier. This does come in pretty handy, however, for all advancement type speedruns where you've looted a desert temple and a village and don't have access to an iron pick but do have plenty of TNT. First off, it's important to know how explosions and piglin aggro work together. So if I were to just detonate a TNT either with flint and steel, pressure plate, or button, it doesn't matter. Just the action of breaking the gold block doesn't aggro the piglins as long as they're outside of the blast radius. Speedrunners are pretty used to the piglin light aggro, which happens when you either break a gold block or break a chest. These piglins have a 30-second timer now that I've broken this gold block of light aggro, so they'll be mad at me, but they do get distracted by gold. The aggro caused by damaging a piglin actually has two different timers. So if I were to just activate a TNT with either a pressure plate or a button or something, this type of damage is not considered player damage, and even though it damages piglins, it won't aggro on me. If I use a flint and steel, however, the piglin on the right is going to take damage and now has two timers that's affecting it. This piglin has a 30-second light aggro timer where it can be distracted by gold, but it also has 10 seconds of heavy aggro where it cannot be distracted now that it's been damaged. So if I throw gold to this piglin, it won't pick it up for 10 seconds. This one is just aggroed because I damaged his friend and will still be distracted, but this one has that 10-second timer and now he'll start trading. So just be aware of both the 10-second and 30-second timers when you're activating TNT with flint and steel around piglins. It's also important to roughly know the different blast resistances of different blocks. A lot of times when you loot a desert temple, you're either going to be dealing with sandstone or netherrack. So they're a lot weaker blast resistance, and in these routes you'll need something a little bit stronger. So just know that if I ever place down a plank in these routes, it's because I need a high resistant block. And if I place sandstone, that just means any block can go there. This is my loadout for the routes. It's pretty common gear to have coming out of a desert temple. I'm starting with gold armor, but all of these routes are adapted off of routes most people are used to, so you can do the gold armorless routes like you would normally do. I'm using TNT and flint and steel to aggro the piglins, but you can do this if you keep the pressure plate and chest from a desert temple. Activate the TNT with the pressure plate and mine the chests to aggro the piglins if you want safer routes. So first up is bridge, real easy one. The only thing you really need to worry about is the gold falling off the edge here. If you notice, there are some edges that can catch the gold on almost all the sides except for the back right. So I would recommend when you're blocking up to get into position, you block up on the back right and then you stand right over here. So if you just mine one gold block with a stone pick, you'll burn it and it'll go to waste. That will also aggro piglins. But that one TNT position gets you all the gold blocks except for one reliably, and then from here you can do whatever preferred route you like. Next is housing. This is a top-down style queue route. I like this for AA, especially because you get a lot of chests, you get tons of piglins aggroed, and you're trading 12 gold blocks instead of the 9, so you get more chance for pearls and obsidian. You could also do a manhunt route just by starting it and then blocking off the piglins, TNTing, and then coming back to trade the gold. But this one's a bit safer and more gold blocks here. So you'll stop at this point in the stairs. You'll mine out these 5 blocks, TNT there, and this sandstone behind is to make sure the stairs don't break behind you so the piglins can't get in. Some of these piglins when you drop down will be damage aggroed, so you'll just have to make it to this safe hole because they won't be distracted. And then I just found this hole is fairly convenient. You can start the pigs trading, but to get these 9 gold blocks, a good rule of thumb is you want all of them to be exposed. If you can see all of them, you're probably going to get all of them. Place the TNT in the very center, and this will actually get all 9. This will destroy the ceiling above you. Every once in a while, you get like one piglin that'll come down, but you can distract it with gold because you won't be damaged. So those piglins there will need 10 seconds to start trading, which is unfortunate, but it's still pretty fast, and if you need a higher piglin number, you can break this area here to get these piglins trading. That should be plenty, and then you loot the double chest here, craft all your items, and you're out. This is a good gap stables route. It is possible to do a double, triple, like top rampart stables, although it is pretty tricky. This one, mining that block, make sure I know that it's a good gap on that side. And it's pretty important you want a higher piglin number here than usual, so it's important to either punch a piglin or mine a gilded there in order to aggro the piglins from the center section. Sometimes there's a piglin here in the practice map, so deal with him. But In this first TNT, I'll put kind of in this back upper right corner of this 4 gold blocks right there. A plank there is necessary to save the top ceiling, and you still have to be ready. Like 1 out of every 10 times, that ceiling will break, and you have to place 1 to 2 blocks so the piglins don't come down and kill you. You have to mine these blocks, expose those to get the remaining gold here, but that one's pretty quick. And I just do all this first and then let the piglins down because most of them are damaged anyway, and you have to wait that 10 seconds, so you might as well get both sections of gold blocks first. Drop down here to get all the piglins into the hole, and then continue looting the chests. Treasure is just the worst bastion to do a TNT route on, honestly. You could try to make some TNT route work for upper treasure by just mining out a bunch of the blocks. It would be very slow and painful, but it is technically possible. I would honestly just recommend, especially for an AA run, just doing 1 well-placed TNT in lower treasure, get a couple piglins trading, hopefully you get an iron trade, make an iron pick, mine out the rest, and then pearl up to upper treasure and mine out the rest over here. It's very slow and painful, but for an AA run, you still get a lot of materials from it, so it's not too bad. And I've made a TNT route for all 4 different configurations of lower treasure, so I can show those here. All right, I know the lower treasure routes are a little bit scuffed, but you know, as a last resort, if you really got to finish the seed, then you got to do what you got to do. So hope you enjoyed, and good luck doing TNT Bastions.